Hello everyone, Silver Duck here. Episode 16 of The Ducks came out today and it was crazy. The Drill Duck returned with upgrades, who got a cameo and a new race of ducks is here, but before we start I want to wish you all a Merry Christmas and a Happy Holiday. Now let's get into the analysis. The episode starts off where we left off in episode 15. You will probably remember that Gregory and Bigelow are trapped by the Neck Duck and Grey Duck and a few ordinary bouncers. Speaking of bouncers, I was kinda expecting the bouncer duck to return in this episode because it's episode 16, which is 10 episodes away from episode 6, which is when the bouncer duck was heavily damaged. I expect he will come back with insane upgrades when he does, which will possibly be in episode 26 or maybe even 36. I don't know how long this series will go, but I'm expecting the bouncer duck will return on the 6th episode. Anyway, we are getting off topic. I will soon be doing a video on the bouncer duck explaining all his secrets. Anyway, soon after the episode starts we see Gregory fighting with the bouncer duck wearing a cap. He is similar to the original bouncer. He throws Gregory on the ground, then Gregory pulls out his evaporation gun. This gun has a long story I will explain in a special video all about it. He shoots this cap bouncer. This gun's ability is to turn things it shoots into a pile of ash. It's still a mystery where it was made, but what we know so far is that it was first seen in episode 2 being used by an ordinary guy, or was he just some guy or somebody fighting against the ducks? Who knows? Anyway, after Gregory is done with the cap bouncer, the camera pans and we see Bigelow hitting the brown bouncer duck until it is dead. He is using a tool he stole of one of the portal ducks from the last episode. After Bigelow has killed this duck, there is a few second pause and then the grey duck flies past a building straight at Bigelow. The Grey Duck has been in the series since the very first episode. Most people thought nothing of him back then since he was just one of the many colorful ducks. In episode 3 I noticed that he seemed to be a proper character rather than a random Grey Duck. I guess I was correct, as he now has a neck or a large human body and he has a jetpack. Despite all this, I think he is the least powerful out of the large human trio. The Elite Duck has a flamethrower and a robotic claw, and the Drill Duck has drills and well more drills. This will change in this episode, however. The camera goes back to Gregory and we see him kill an ordinary duck. We don't see ordinary ducks that much anymore. Usually we see powerful upgraded ducks. After Gregory kills the duck we see a small explosion, which I'm still not sure what caused it, and then Bigelow was thrown across the screen. I thought he was dead when this happened, but luckily he wasn't, as we see Bigelow and Gregory running from the Grey Duck in the next scene. I'm gonna use this time to remind you why Bigelow and Gregory are here. They are trying to rescue Ben and Phil. They were both captured by the ducks in episodes 8 and 10. We have not seen them for 6 episodes, so the ducks could be experimenting on them. I think we will see them in episode 17 or 18. As Bigelow and Gregory are running, the Grey Duck rams into them kind of like a ram duck and pushes them aside. Again there is a random explosion, probably to look cool. The Grey Duck goes to fight with Bigelow, if you can call it fighting. Bigelow has no weapons and is being attacked by a literal war machine. He tries to hit Bigelow with his weapon, but Bigelow dodges it. Then the Grey Duck tries to get to him but gets shot by Gregory with his evaporation gun. It hits his arm, causing it to flee off. I think Gregory is not going to show any mercy to the ducks ever since his friend Tom was killed by the yellow suit duck in episode 13. I think after Gregory rescues his friends Ben and Phil, neither of whom Bigelow has ever met, he will go and try to find the yellow suit duck and finish him off, as we know that he has been damaged a lot and will surely soon be defeated, as he has been in the midst of explosions, fires, battles and more terrible things. Another reason Gregory would also want to kill the yellow suit duck is because he is the one that burned Gregory and tortured him. I think it would be epic if Gregory kills that fool. Anyway, Gregory fires his gun at the Grey Duck again, hitting his helmet, which turned out to be a pretty useful thing after all. I thought he had a helmet for decoration, but in the end it saved his life. If he didn't have the helmet, there would not be a Grey Duck anymore. Instead he would be a pile of ash. After his helmet is shot off, the Grey Duck does something surprising. He shoots flames out of his chest just like the Elite Duck. I guess this guy is powerful then. He would have killed Gregory if it wasn't for Bigelow, who saved Gregory's life by grabbing the Grey Duck's leg, causing him to get distracted and turn off the flamethrower. He kicks Bigelow to the side, but not before Gregory gets up and points the evaporation gun at the Grey Duck. Unfortunately, he uses his weapon to grab the gun out of Gregory's hands, taking it from him. This is very bad news for anybody that is fighting the ducks, because now they have the gun, they can use the technology to make more copies of it. This is not the first time the ducks have this gun. The bouncer duck stole it off the man that was in episode 2 and used it for his own use. Back then the ducks didn't copy it, but this time I think they will. Boogaloo starts to get up, but the grey duck pushes him down again with his foot. He charges at Gregory, picking him up with his weapon, but Boogaloo saves Gregory again by grabbing onto the grey duck's jetpack. The grey duck drops Gregory. At this point I thought Boogaloo was going to kill the grey duck, but the grey duck has a trick up his sleeve. He ejects the jetpack from his body and it flies into the air. Then the grey duck casually walks off. A few moments later Gregory sits up. I was sure Boogaloo had to have died, but he must have plot armor, because seconds later the jetpack makes a graceful landing, dropping Boogaloo off on the ground without injury. In real life it would be a different story, but I'm not gonna go into that. The jetpack keeps going and explodes off camera. Boogaloo sits up, and then the next bit jump scared me because the neck, pink duck, comes flying into the screen. His neck looks like a walrus mixed with a robot and a bird. In other words, it looks like a complete abomination. One side is red and black in color, the other is more lighter colors like white and blue. I don't know why, but I assume he has special powers for each side. Before the neck, pink duck even attacks anyone he is rammed into by a truck with a rocket launcher on top and is destroyed. This neck duck could have gotten a good role in the series, but I guess not. The pink duck was seen in episodes 4 and 5 where he ended up being killed by Ben. So if he was killed, how is he here then? We saw him in the background of episode 12. We also saw the engineer duck working on the neck for him. In episode 12 his head was drooping and he wasn't moving. I think he was made into a robot as an experiment and wasn't intended to last long. I think we will see more neck ducks in the future. My theory is further proven when we see an attachment on his head, which once pulled off by Gregory he falls to the ground unmoving. Gregory goes to thank the soldiers in the truck when it is thrown into the air by the drill duck. This is the moment we have all been waiting for. Gregory is attacked by one of the drill duck's drills that came out of the ground and is left unconscious. Boogaloo thinks Gregory is dead, but he has to hide because rising up behind the shipping containers is the upgraded drill duck. In my first video on this channel I talked all about his upgrades, so go and watch that video after this one. The drill duck uses his small jetpacks to flee over the shipping containers and starts looking for Boogaloo. Oh my god, you fool! Boogaloo was in plain sight and you can't find him. I don't think the drill duck is the smartest of the trio of large human ducks. But anyway, a soldier with a jetpack comes at the drill duck, but the drill duck casually kills him with his drill. He doesn't use a single one of his new abilities in this episode. I think he will in episode 17. After the drill duck flies off, Gregory wakes up and sits up. He starts walking the other direction to where Boogaloo went, but quickly turns around when he sees something. We soon find out what this duck is. At first I thought Gregory was scared of the two normal ducks coming towards him. One of them has a smaller head and is faster. This is a fast duck. There are 4 races of ducks: normal ducks, bouncer ducks, ram ducks and fast ducks, which are new to episode 16. Anyway, both of the normal duck get killed in a big explosion. At first I thought it was another rocket truck, but I was shocked when it turned out to be another duck. It is none other than the Clickrig duck. For those of you who don't know, Clickrig is a Lego stop-motion YouTuber who has made his own duck series called Quacks. Lots of similar things happen in Quacks to the ducks and there might be a connection. Anyway, recently Clickrig created a video about Hell Adventures on his channel saying more people should subscribe to him. Hell Adventures made the Clickrig duck to show his gratitude to Clickrig for shouting him out. You guys should check out Clickrig, as he is probably underrated as well as Hell Adventures. Anyway, the Clickrig duck has something like a mushroom on his head or something. He looks like Clickrig's YouTube channel profile picture. He has a jetpack and robotic arms. He kills 2 of his own mind, showing that he doesn't care about them and just wants to kill Gregory. This is not just for the Clickrig duck though. I think most of the powerful ducks don't care about the smaller, weaker normal ones. The only one that cares is the drill duck. Despite not having a high IQ, he has a very high IQ, as he saved the Chunky Boy Duck's life in episode 13 and made friends with him. The Chunky Boy Duck isn't powerful but is one of the first ducks, as he was in episode 1. This makes me think, what if the ducks are being forced to destroy the humans and somebody like the pelican or the Clickrig duck is telling them to? What if the drill duck doesn't want to do this and is showing more kindness than most ducks? I know we have seen him kill quite a few humans before, but he might have no other choice. I think the engineer duck might be the one causing all of this. He seems to invent things, so maybe he is making the ducks more evil, but something went a teeny bit wrong with the drill duck, causing him to be a little bit more kind. After all, in episode 12, after the engineer had repaired to drill duck, he said under his breath the phrase, "Stupid duck, I think this guy is using the ducks." After all, he is now the leader for a while the pelican, or should I say boss duck, is getting upgraded. I think the engineer duck is gonna betray the boss duck. But anyway, we are getting close to the end of the episode, so let's finish this analysis. In the next scene we see Gregory and a few of the injured soldiers from the rocket truck running to some sort of building where Brigalow and a soldier are waiting for them. They end up making it, but another guy comes running to the bunker. This man is a reference to Hal L. Adventures Titanic animation that he made in December 2021. He was a member of the crew but ended up dying in the end. You can recognize him because of his classic smile and white striped blue shirt. He doesn't make it to the building in time because the Clickrick duck grabs a hold of him and burns him to a skeleton with a flamethrower under his mushroom hat thingy. He then tries to get into the building, but a wall collapses in front of him, blocking the entrance. This place is on fire, meaning it was probably bombed by a plane, as we can see the military is here. The Clickrick duck this whole time has been repeating the phrase Clickrick, but when the entrance is blocked off he starts saying something I can't understand. In the building the people that made I-Through have a talk and then the episode ends. This episode was one of the craziest episodes yet. What will happen with the grey duck? Will Ben and Phil be in this building? Is the drill duck and the Clickrick duck going to show more of their abilities? I hope you all enjoyed the analysis and I will see you all next time. Goodbye for now.